What's going on YouTube? Back, your movie guru, with another review. Happy weekend, everybody. We're just going to get right into it. I'm reviewing Escape Room this time. I want to say right off the bat, I was not the most excited about this movie. I'd seen the trailer, and it reminds me a lot of some similar films I've seen in the past. The Saw franchise are the most prominent I think that come into mind. But there are some other films like Circle, Would You Rather, and then you could even argue that the old series Lost has somewhat of the same premise that Escape Room has. For those of you who haven't seen the trailer, it's basically, you can tell from the trailer that a group of people that don't know each other get locked, or they all participate in this escape room, and it turns out to be a lot more intense than any of them had signed up for. So that's the basic plot of the film. And like I said, they're not exactly the same. You do see some of the same elements in Saw. You know, you've got all these people trapped together. They have to go through this big ordeal to escape. They don't trust each other at first. They don't know each other, but eventually we learn more and more about the characters as the story progresses. Then they learn to trust each other, and eventually, some of them don't make it along the way, and then eventually, one or two, or however many, will survive and come out better for it. That's the basic plot that I was expecting with this movie. I will say I was happily surprised. More than anything, if I had to describe this movie, I would say it's fun. Uh, there are some elements, looking at it as a critic, where I look at it and I see, okay, they could have done this better, or hey, they make an interesting point about this. They could have segued to this and made it a deeper film, or hey, they showed a little bit of emotion here. If they dug a little further into that, make it a deeper film, better quality film, make us care about the characters more. So there are definitely pieces like that interspersed throughout the film that, as a critic, I would have definitely liked to see them do differently and explore a little more. But just going as a fan, a fan of movies, a general moviegoer, I can tell you that I really did have a blast just watching the movie. When taking out all of the, deep analysis or introspection, or any of that, you really do have fun watching the movie. Just going, seeing the characters go into different rooms and try to figure out what's going on. And it's almost, I would say, I'm showing my age a little bit here, but it's almost kind of like the old game Clue, in which that you're actually kind of playing along with the characters, because going through the process of them trying to figure things out, you're trying to figure it out as well. And it kind of engrosses you a little bit in the film that way. So I looked on Rotten Tomatoes after I saw the movie. It's got a 52% from critics, and then a 67% audience score from fans. And I'd say that's about right, because that's, like I say, if you're looking at it from a critic's perspective, you're going to be focusing on ways you could have made it better. But as just a moviegoer, like I said, I do think the movie was a lot of fun. And for that reason, I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10 thumbs up. I think it's a great date movie. Great movie to see, friends movie to see with a big group of friends. I definitely think it'll give you a lot of talking material afterward. A lot of laughs during the movie, and just an overall enjoyable time. It doesn't get too deep on the gore, or any of that. It's not a crude film, any of that. I do really think that it's enjoyable. One final complaint I would say about it, and I think that a lot of people would probably agree with me, I think they should have ended it 5 minutes earlier. the ending scene, like the last 2 or 3 minutes of the film, I'd say is kind of really throws you for a loop when you're like, okay, really, that wouldn't really happen. That's a little corny. Uh, if not for that last bit, I say that it actually would have been, for me, a much better film. And I think that a lot of you would agree with me. But if you don't agree with me, let me know. Uh, Leave me a comment. Say, hey, you thought that was perfect. You want to see more of it. Uh, I take all arguments. Let me see what you got. But anyway, thanks for watching. Happy weekend. I'm a little bit backed up on some of the other reviews I have to do. Don't worry, they're coming. I've still been seeing a lot of movies. Uh, Hope everybody's doing great. Uh, get out there and see some movies. Have a good time. And once again, hit the like or subscribe button if you like my content. Thanks for watching once again.